So can I do my creep now?
Yes, please.
All right. April 14th, 2014, Carl, a gentleman named
Same year.
Darren West was cleaning out the garage of the duplex that his ex-wife and mother of his 3 children, my creep today, Megan Huntsman, had recently moved from.
Okay.
Darren had just been released from federal prison for an 8-year term for distributing methamphetamine.
Oh.
That January, he got out in 2014. So he had gotten his life together.
Sure.
He's making a fresh start.
Okay.
He's out of jail. And the house that we're discussing here belonged to his parents. His 3 children with Megan still lived in the house, but they had recently asked Megan to find another place to live because Megan really likes her meth too.
I see.
Okay. So I hate to not do this because I'd be really stupid if I didn't.
Meth.
Let's talk about meth, baby. Let's talk about it, yes, sirree. Let's talk about all the bad things and the bad things meth heads see. Let's talk about meth.
I want to challenge the listeners. If anyone can find a single story or even an anecdote of someone doing meth and it leading to good things in their life.
Go watch Subreddit Surfing episode 1.
Okay.
They all tried to convince me that it was like, no, man, it's cool. You can quit anytime, and it's really helpful to getting things done. They all tell you the same story.
Yeah, that's like the old Artie Lang joke. It's great if you want to walk to St. Louis in a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a gentleman cleaning out a garage, Carl.
Yep.
Not a big deal. While he's cleaning out the garage, he finds a box that he had never seen before containing what he thought was old rags or clothes.
Okay.
And he dumped it out to figure out what was going on. He was horrified to find the skeleton of a tiny baby.
Oh.
I have audio.
Ha! Yeah.
He panics. He calls the cops. Police go to the home. They examine the body, determined it was a newborn baby who appeared to have been carried to full term.
I actually have audio from when the police showed up.
Shit, partner.
Now, they start executing a search through the rest of the house, but they didn't have to go too far because as they start opening more boxes in the garage, like the worst episode of Storage Wars ever, Carl.
Yeah, right.
Just like the house you were talking about, every box, there's a dead baby.
It's another skeleton.
There's a dead baby skeleton.
How does it not stink? You can't just have decomposing bodies in your garage.
Kevin.
Can you?
Or I'm sorry, Carl.
Yeah.
7 babies.
7?
They found 7 babies, dead babies.
I guess I win this round.
It's not a numbers game.
Yeah, I think it might be this time.
It's actually an execution game, literally.
Oh, boy.
The 6 tiny bodies were found each in a separate cardboard box inside the garage, wrapped in shirts and rags. That's right. The house that Megan Huntsman had moved out of. She didn't even take them with her, Carl.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit you got to bring with you when you leave.
She couldn't even take them with her.
Did she just forget they were there?
I don't know. Now, during the relationship, they were both big meth enthusiasts. They had the 3 kids. Problem was they also fucked a lot. So Megan had a lot of explaining to do. And while she's talking to the cops.
All right, so your definition of fucking a lot is having 7 children, so they had sex at least 7 times. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, she kept getting pregnant, is my point.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay. So during the interview with the police, because she had a lot to explain, during the interview, she basically explains that it came down to the babies or the meth.
Yeah.
And you know what, officer? I didn't have money for both.
Well, you do have to pick one or the other. That's not necessarily the Sophie's choice.
I'm not going to call this smart family planning.
No.
But it is some type of planning.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs.
So once they get all the truth out of this woman, it turns out from the year 1996 to 2006, she had kept 7 pregnancies secret. She would go to full term with these babies. And when she felt labor coming on, she'd like bullshit everybody. Like, yeah, I got to go to the garage. Gonna smoke some meth. She'd go out to the garage and fucking pop out a kid. Then she'd either smother the baby or strangle
Here's
it.
Another thing that's pretty crazy about this is, you ever see a fat meth head? Because I haven't. So they got to be like, why does she keep putting on weight all this? It's like every 9 months or so, she gets real big.
I think that if everybody in the house is on meth, they're never going to notice.
Okay.
I don't think they notice that
suppose.
shit. So this happens 7 times, dude. She strangles and smothers 7 newly born, fresh out her cooch babies.
Mm-hmm. I know how that works. Fresh out her cooch. No, I know. I know where babies come from.
Fucking murder her baby and then wrap it up and throw it in a cardboard box and throw it with the fucking rest of them. Like my closet.
Bitch.
I mean, is it that much different than some of the abortion laws? I mean, don't we have laws where you can wait till 3 months after giving birth to abort your child? I believe that's what Fox News told me.
Carl, the results from the FBI show that 5 of the babies were girls, 2 were boys, and that Darren West, the man who found the boxes, was the biological father of all of them.
Wow.
At least you didn't cheat on him. The worst episode of Maury ever.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to baby in box number 3, Darren, you are the father.
Oh, my.
On February 12, 2015, Huntsman pled guilty to 6 counts of first-degree felony murder. Why only 6, Carl?
Why only 6?
Because she argued one of them was stillborn.
Okay. I would have argued all of them were if I were her.
I
Especially considering that it worked. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, think of that now.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine, like, having to get all that out of, like, what number was it? Was it the last one? Was it number 3? Was it number 5?
Vinny, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, like, we'd have, like, goldfish and stuff. And goldfish die. And you bury them in the backyard.
Certainly.
You don't put them in a box and leave them in the storage area.
I know.
Why isn't she burying these children? She's got the energy for it. You know? Smoke some meth and dig some holes.
She does not seem that she was that interested in what happened to these
in getting away with it? Because that's the only thing I'd be interested in if I were her.
She did get, in her brain, she probably did get away with it. She moved.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, how could you go through your life knowing that you just have your children in cardboard boxes in the garage?
By the way, I'm seeing in the chat another person talking about how this isn't the best show for lunchtime. We recommend you eat your lunch before coming over to the Creep Off on Mondays. This is not what you want to be listening to while enjoying your meal.
Good point. Good point.
That's my recommendation.
So she was sentenced to 6 counts of 5 years to life in prison, with 3 counts to be served consecutively and 3 counts to be served concurrently. Like that matters. She ain't getting out, motherfucker.
Yeah, probably
now,
not.
What was interesting is they were talking about infanticide, like, you know, where you kill a baby. And most mothers, like, you know, the baby throwers, the shit that we deal with, they only do it the one time. Like, they just know not to get pregnant again.
Right, yeah.
They just know, like, yeah, I really hated that baby and I didn't want to have it, so I fucking killed it.
Birth control into your budget.
They argued, a lot of doctors argued the psychology of this.
Yes.
And that this woman was basically a serial killer. Like, in a very, very bizarre way, but she was basically a serial killer.
Well, let's see.
They thought that it was like a serial killer.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I've never done a story like this on the Creep Off before. I don't know. We've talked about people murdering their kids. I have never heard of a woman 7 times waiting for the kid to come out of the fucking womb and then Bart Simpsoning them and just strangling them and then throwing them in boxes.
Is that what she did? Do you know?
It says she either smothered or strangled them.
Jesus.
That means she did one or the other.
All right, not the
couple
world's
times.
Not the world's greatest mom. I'll give that one to you.
I'm going to say creepiest mom.
All right.
I think you should all vote for my creep, Megan Huntsman, on Reddit this week at Creep Off, or at r/the Creep Off. That's the Reddit.